Welcome to Top Tier Wrestling, your ultimate destination for all things going on in the world of professional wrestling. Whether you're a hardcore wrestling fanatic or just a casual viewer, we've got you covered with the latest news, in depth show reviews, and our unfiltered opinions. Get ready to step into the ring with us and stay on top of the wrestling world. This is Top Tier Wrestling. Welcome to Top Tier Wrestling. I'm your host, Josh Lethal, and joining me is my amazing tag team partner, the Psycho Killer, Dawn. Tonight we're breaking down AEW Collision. Let's get into it.
Yay!
You feeling Psycho Killery?
Qu'est-ce que c'est? No?
IDK.
Anyone?
Feeling cute.
Anyone? The song. Someone. I know people out there know that song. Rock band taught it.
Okay. Well, this episode of Collision is taking place in Denver, Colorado. And right out the gate, we start out with MJF holding the show hostage.
A very angry MJF.
Cut it! Cut the music! Basically, he said this show doesn't start until Revolution gets rectified, because I guess he's butthurt that his attempt to cheat the coin toss didn't go his way. So he's telling Tony Khan to get his skinny ass out there. And instead, he gets a pair of different skinny asses. One in particular, he gets the Jet Kevin Knight. And Knight comes out saying, he's heard MJF and everything he was saying. And, MJF's doing a whole bunch of talking while Kevin Knight's just stacking wins. And he was also there to help get the job done when MJF tried to weasel his way out of the stipulation on Dynamite, which is true. He was one of the three other people that kept MJF from running away.
True facts.
And he goes on to say, and tonight I'm getting the job done by shutting your whining ass up, you crybaby ass bitch. I was like, Kevin, language.
Watch your profanity.
You're not Okada. But long story short, he basically gets all in MJF's grill and tells him, the Jet is not only the future, but he's the here and now. And MJF says, okay, listen to me, you ignorant child. You think you're champion material? And Kevin immediately looks at the Trios championship in his hand. And MJF amends it to say, you think you're world championship material? You want to tell MJF, you want to tell Big Hebrew how to do his job?
Not the Big Hebrew.
And he says, I tell you what, you call yourself the Jet. How about you get your ass on a jet and you jet over to El Paso, Texas, which I presume is where the next Dynamite is occurring.
Yeah.
And he says, you want to be world champion? Kevin Knight versus MJF, El Paso Dynamite for the Triple B. And he says, I'm glad you're smiling because you're going to be taught a lesson. Because I don't think you're the future. Hell, you're not even the now. And after I'm through with you, little buddy, all you're going to be is history. Ooh, MJF gotcha. But I was pleased by this promo. One, it's always fun to see MJF having a hissy fit because he's playing a heel character so well that you're like, yeah, cry about it, bitch. But it's also really cool to see this push for Kevin Knight, that Kevin Knight is throwing his name into the hat of so many contenders that are chasing after the AEW World Championship. So, all right, next week's Dynamite, we're getting a World Championship match. I'm here for that.
Yeah.
Following that, we hear a little bit of Mark Briscoe going over some highlights with his title match against Ciampa when Ciampa became the TNT champion before losing it to Kyle Fletcher. And he gave him praise for being a hard-hitting individual and that he loves to get in the ring with him. But he did warn Ciampa not to lose focus because he faces another friend of his, Jay Lethal. And so it kind of helped build up that match later in the
Yeah.
evening that's going to be Jay Lethal versus Tommaso Ciampa. And apparently these two gentlemen have a history of some matches fought back on Ring of Honor. So I was kind of hyped for it because I wasn't aware of that. So yeah, that actually kind of perked me up towards that match. I mean,
Yeah. True.
so let's go. I'm here for that. But after that, we are brought to our first match of the night, and boy howdy, they wanted to start off with a big one. This is
Yeah.
an
They made us
8-man,
wait. They made us wait 3 minutes, so they had to
not 3 whole minutes, Jesus.
do something spectacular. Apparently.
Apparently. So we have an 8-man tag match between the Death Riders, and it's going to be Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, Daniel Garcia, and the Bastard Pack versus Don Callis family members, the Walking Weapon Josh Alexander, Lance Everybody Dies Archer, Sugar Sweet Rocky Romero, and Trent Beretta.
Yeah. I was about 75% excited on each side of this match,
Yeah,
but
that's fair.
yeah, but I was also pleasantly surprised because nobody got on my nerves. This I was expecting for Daniel Garcia to do it for me. Uh, and by do it for me, I mean annoy me. But he didn't. No one did. Rocky Romero didn't. Trent Beretta, I've always thought was good. I've always liked Trent Beretta maybe a little bit more than you or other people that watch AEW. So I was happy to see him back. Um, I was happy to see him back. Uh, for me, this was a fucking amazing opener. And given the two people on each team or the person on each team that I really wasn't that excited about, this still ended up being a surprisingly good match. I mean, overall, this was a great opening match. I ended up with nothing negative. Surprisingly, nothing negative to say about it.
I had one negative thing, but I'll let you know. You ready for my thoughts on this one?
Yes, please.
I felt like this was a great multi-man match. AEW is so good at those. And a continuation of the Death Rider / Don Callis family feud. That's a family feud for you. I felt like it was really good to see Lance Archer in action as opposed to just beating up people in the back. I feel like I'm a fan of his. So it's nice to see him when he gets in the ring. And I thought for a moment, one glorious nanosecond, I believed Marina Shafir was going to be the recipient of his finisher, the Blackout,
Yeah.
and then join the Everybody in Everybody Dies. But it was ruined by the other Death Riders.
Ruined.
And then we get to the one tiny quibble I had with this match. Wheeler Yuta made it through another second match without fucking taking his goddamn hat off, and nobody was able to take it off of him. We
Okay.
can rip masks off luchadors, but you can't get a beanie off Wheeler Yuta. Come on. That's
I
okay. They're probably waiting
know.
for just the right moment. But the Death Riders won because they did two things very right. First, they minimized and largely kept Daniel Garcia out of the match. And
Yeah.
second, they pinned Sugar Sweet Rocky Romero. And that was the winning combination. Otherwise, yeah, fantastic opening match. I mean, just start with what AEW is super good at, which is these big multi-man matches. Get your
Yeah.
blood flowing. It was a good way to
Yeah.
start the night.
For sure. Whoa, show.
But really good shot. Shot. Really good match. And I want to say after the match, was it Takeshita stormed the ring? Like he came to the ring with a microphone, looking like he was going to say something, and
Oh
then
yeah.
immediately just starts wailing on John Moxley, like just goes hard after him. And so for like the next little while, it's the Death Riders and the Don Callis family trying to hold the two apart, and they just keep trying to kill one another. So this was them building more hype for their match coming at Revolution, and I tell you what, I'm super here for it.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
I was here for it to begin with
yes.
because these two men
Yes.
can wrestle their asses off, and it's going to be phenomenal. But they are really building it.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts about that?
I was about to say the same thing that you were like listen, you guys don't have to uh here, take my money. You don't have to freaking sell me on this anymore. I am invested. I am ready for these two to go at it again. Let's run it back 6, 7, 20, 6, 7, 28, 4,000 billion more times. I don't care. Let's go.
Yeah, and the upshot of their match coming up at Revolution is that in this match, unlike their previous encounter, there will be no time limit. So both of these men really want a definitive winner,
Yeah.
and I'm here for it. This is going to be a great match for Revolution. I know it.
Yes. I'm hyped.
Me too. Um, Following that, we are brought to our second match. After seeing a vignette of their prior history in Ring of Honor, we come to the match: the Psycho Killer Tommaso Ciampa versus one Jay Lethal. And
This
I was eager to see how this was going to pan out. What were your thoughts on this?
Bro, this was yet again another match that I was not that hyped for. Like I got nothing against Lethal. But I didn't. Whenever I thought, or whenever I saw that Tommaso Ciampa was with AEW, I never thought at that point, yes, I can't wait for him to have a match with Lethal. I didn't know, I didn't know about their Ring of Honor history. But once I did, it piqued my interest. But this match went it went above and beyond my expectations. These two were very well together. They worked very well together. Like I said, I didn't know that they had a history, but you could see it in their interactions in the ring. They worked amazingly well together. Uh, it was almost as if Champa was almost excited, or he's been looking forward to having this match again with Lethal. It was really good. What'd you think?
I very much agree with what you just said. It really felt like Ciampa and Lethal, like clearly they've wrestled each other many times before. Because I don't know when last they wrestled, but it might have been yesterday. Relative to or just the day before they had this match because they really gelled. Um, I
Yeah.
admit I was like really excited to see how Lethal and Ciampa would do, and then I realized Lethal came out with the damn swirl, and I was like, "Oh, come on," because I was worried that they were going to interfere, and they
Oh,
did, but it didn't end up mattering, so it was fine.
yeah.
As far as Ciampa and Lethal, they both really this was a high octane match. They went full tilt. No excruciatingly long rest hold periods, although there was like a relentless amount of titty chops
There
back
was.
and forth. Like there was so much. Like both Lethal and Champa probably had to go collect their areolas after the match. Like it was a lot. It was
Oh
very
no.
snappy. They both were like setting off firecrackers every couple of seconds. But I felt like both men looked really good in the ring, and it was a great rebound match for the Psycho Killer to win after losing his belt.
Yeah.
So, yeah, excellent match. And at the end, the Psycho Killer makes it clear that he wants his Sylvie back from Kyle Fletcher. And let's go. I'm here for the run it back match on that one, too.
Yep. That was a fantastic match. That was better than anything I had imagined it could be. So yeah, they can do that again.
Yep. But yeah, I got to say this was aces. Another question mark I had coming into it was we hadn't seen Jay Lethal wrestle on AEW Collision or Dynamite
Yeah,
in
I
a
I think I
minute.
just I think I just asked you, does he still wrestle?
Yeah, when
And
we were watching, yeah, I was like, I don't know,
yeah,
I haven't seen him for a while.
the
Um,
when he introduced the swirl, I saw him and I was like, oh, Jay, does Jay Lethal even still wrestle, or is he just a manager now?
does
Well,
he still go here?
yeah, the AEW guys were like, yeah, he still goes here, girl. So
Yeah, and he can still go in the ring. I mean,
yeah,
him and Tommaso really had a good match here.
yeah,
So yeah, this was one of those ones where I was cautiously optimistic coming into it, but there were a lot of like question marks, and then it
yeah,
it proved to be better than I anticipated. So it was a real pleasant surprise. These guys really put on a banger for us.
yeah.
Um, Following that ass kicking slobber knocker, we hear from the inspiration. And these are the two girls that were formerly the Iconics in WWE some time ago. And I know you and I both were like, okay, because we weren't really familiar with them as the Iconics. And we were like, well, let's see what they got. And we were both pleasantly surprised. Like, they talked some mad shit, especially to the Brawling Birds. Because
Yeah.
apparently the Brawling Birds tried to, steal their thunder at their last match. And they did not appreciate that. So now they have come to bring it to them. As one of the ladies, I believe Jessie, said to the Brawling Birds, you don't have the balls to go face to face with the inspiration. I don't know. It's 2026. They might. No, I don't know. Um, but they announced that they'll be making their Dynamite debut this upcoming Wednesday. So the Brawling Birds have three options to either step up, step back, or step aside for the inspiration. And we were like, talk your shit, ladies. All right, let's see how you do.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Another looks like another strong tag team group for the ladies. So, all right, let's go. They need it.
Yeah, I got to give AEW some credit here. They introduced women's tag belts when there really wasn't a women's tag division, and then they built the
Yeah.
division in response to it, and they've been doing gangbusters with it.
Yep.
Like, we've gotten the Brawling Birds out of it. We've got Mega Bad for whichever configuration that ends up going in. I honestly think, despite reporting to the contrary, that Penelope Ford's injury was kayfabe
Yeah.
because they wanted her out of the picture to maybe reintroduce as a singles wrestler at some point later down the line,
It was
so that
just
Lena
too good.
Cross,
It was just too good to not be. Like everything
yeah,
was just in place.
yeah, Lena
But
Cross just happened to be there, and now Megan Bain and Lena Cross can be a super ridiculously dominant women's tag team of mega power big bitches. They should change their name to that. It's better than Mega Bad.
mega power
Mega
big
power
bitches.
big bitches.
I mean,
To
what's
be
the
fair,
worst that can happen?
beating Mega Bad is a very low bar um, in terms of tag team names. But I
Right.
mean, you've got them, you've got you know the Cosmic Babes of Wrath, uh, and now you're going to have the Inspiration, and that's on top of also having the Sisters of Sin. So they're really, really making moves to make the women's tag division pop
Yeah.
off.
Yep.
So I'm here for it. Grow that women's division. That was the weak point that I cited that was still kind of a sore spot for AEW, and they clearly seem, based on their actions, they seem to agree, and they are working hard to grow that division out. And I feel like they've had the women's tag team belts less long than, say, like WWE has had the Intercontinental Women's Championship or the U.S. Women's title, and
Mhm.
they've done more with it already.
Yeah, I don't know what WWE thinks belts are for. Um, I thought they knew since they've been doing this for 40 plus years. But I think they've forgotten. Like it's forgotten lore or some shit. Like it's in a vault
Oh
somewhere
yeah,
locked away.
yeah. They're gonna have to go on a quest to find it again.
Yeah.
It'll be under a crazy old man named Vince. I don't know, but regardless, I am impressed with the moves that AEW is making to grow their women's division and particularly their women's tag team division. They
Yeah.
clearly didn't want to introduce those belts and then not have anywhere to go with it. They had a plan and they are executing it, and that is a good thing.
Yeah.
So I'm here for it, especially if it leads to some really badass women's matches. Like that's really the key because AEW has a bigger mission statement that runs across any division and any roster side's gender, and that is this is where the best wrestle. So these can't just be women. It's not just bodies. They're looking for women who can go in the ring, and I am all for that.
Yeah. And they need them, specifically
Indeed,
the ladies.
specifically. Um, I think after that there was like a vignette with something about Clark Connors, but I may have blocked that out intentionally
Yeah,
in my
I
mind.
can't, man. They're trying to give us more details, more backstory to Connor, but it's just I'm trying. They just got to do something else to make these dudes less goofy. I don't know. And then we also uh no, yeah, it's just Clark Connors. Yeah, you're right. Just Clark Connors. I think I blocked it out too. And
Yeah,
then
and I
it's like
think part of the
PTSD.
issue, yeah, I think part of the issue with him and Gabe is that like Clark Connors when he was by himself made a relatively good impression. I mean, he just came to the ring and whooped ass.
Yeah, he
And
didn't talk that much.
since having the last couple of vignettes with Gabe Kidd, it's like they both come off as goofy fucks. Gabe Kidd is like an especially big tryhard, and Clark Connors being like, "Oh, he's my real dog for real," is like, okay, whatever.
I, oh, the accents you give that dude is wild.
Yeah,
They are
I
wild.
don't even think I did it justice, like, because I didn't go five more octaves deeper than like I should have. He's my real dog for real. That is closer to what Clark Connors tried to evoke with his artificially based voice.
He doesn't have an accent though.
No, maybe not, but
I
I don't
know.
care at this point. Like the dude's goofy as shit. I mean,
It's
both of
pretty
them, and that's the
goofy.
problem. They've now dug themselves into a pit where they're not neutral trying to make a first impression. They've made a first bad kind of impression, and now they're goofy fuckers, and so they're gonna have to ungoofy fuck themselves.
I don't know how.
And I hope
He's
they
my dog
do
for real.
because I think in theory they can both go in the ring. But remember last time Gabe Kidd was in a match with fucking
Oh
Orange
boy.
Cassidy and wrestled such a shit match for most of it that it was like, okay, now you're not even redeemed by your in-ring work. So they're
Yeah.
gonna have to do the like you might need to just completely repackage these two chuckle fucks because they are not landing, at least not for me and not for you. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a like goofy chuckle fuck like huge fan base out there. I don't know. I thought all those people watched WWE. Um, oh, shots fired. Uh, but I digress. Moving on from that, we are now brought to a women's tag match. Hey, we were just talking about the women's tag team division. And we are going to see the Brawling Birds face off against Gypsy Mac and Tyra Rusamy. And if you don't
Man,
remember Gypsy Mac or Tyra, that's fine because these are ladies that were already in the ring and this was a squash match. What were your thoughts on this?
I felt that they didn't come to be squashed. They and I don't mean in the sense that they came out and really went hard on the paint. They didn't come out and do much of anything. I feel like one girl, I can't remember which one. I think it was Tyra who was sandbagging. Um, but I mean, like, lackluster performance from both ladies. I wasn't impressed by anything either one did. And I could have sworn we've seen Gypsy Mac before.
I think we have, but I believe it
And
was Gypsy Mac that started off with Hater and was sandbagging her so bad that
sandbagging?
Hater
Yeah,
threw her into her corner to tag in the other chick who wasn't much better. That I mean, anyway,
yeah.
I'm sorry. These are your thoughts, so
No,
continue.
no. I like you're pretty much saying the same thing that I'm saying. It was just okay. And it was not the fault of Jamie Hayter or Alex Windsor. I mean, if anything, they saved the match because uh Hayter had to do some real strong arm shit because Gypsy was just dead waiting. Um, so yeah. Other than those two just being as lackluster as possible, the match was just all right.
Yeah,
They could, I
I
mean,
have to.
Jamie, and Alex can and only do so much. Like honestly, they can only do so much. It's a tag team match.
Yeah,
The opponents have to do something.
at least sell, right? Like if your job is to do the job that night, right, and you're the
Yeah.
jobber, then all you have to do is sell your opponent's moves correctly, like, or at least most of what you have to do. And they weren't even pulling that off tonight
No.
on this particular evening. And I believe we have seen Gypsy Mac before, so she ain't new. So I'm not sure if it was a communication issue or what.
Maybe she
But
didn't want to work with
yeah, I don't
Hater.
know.
I don't know, but whatever the
But
case, girl, don't do that again.
it is a credit to the Brawling Birds, Hater and Windsor, that they did as well as they did with how little their opponents were giving them to work with, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Um, Otherwise, this was an okay squash match for the Birds. Like they did fine. It was really just their opponents. Um, to finish off with at least something kind of positive, though, I really like the team finisher that Hader and Windsor are bringing to the table. They call it Two Birds, One Stone, and that's phenomenal. What
Yeah.
a great
Yes.
name.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. I
So
like
yeah,
those moves. I like the moves they got so far.
mhm,
I'm here for it. I'm excited to see what else they've got. But those other two chicks, Gypsy Mac and Tyra, what's her name? Rusamy?
I guess maybe
Uh,
resume. Like maybe she should put one out.
they yeah, whatever they were feeling, whatever they were on that night, don't do that no more.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, but again, to their credit, Hader and Windsor still managed to make it look at least okay,
Yeah.
or even possibly good,
Yeah.
considering that they were working with two sandbags.
Yep.
Um, and I agree with you. I'm here for the Brawling Birds. So far, I'm really happy with them, and I'm curious and hopeful to see them go over. Um, Especially since it's kind of a reinvention for both of them. And so, yeah, I'm wishing them the best. So I'm looking forward to their next match. Hopefully, not with Gypsy McIntyre Rusamy.
I don't think it will be. Honestly, I'm not even trying to be funny. I don't think it will be.
But following that epic tag match, we hear about another epic tag match, a four-way $200,000 tag match scheduled for next week on Collision. And I remember when I saw this, I immediately thought anywhere else this would just be kind of a mid-card thing, but I like all of the teams involved and they all can go so well in the ring that I was immediately excited. So it's going to be the Swirl. Despite how kind of goofbally that is, because one's the vanilla baby and I guess the other one's the chocolate. Um those dudes go well in the ring, especially the Vanilla Baby. Like that dude is really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Blake something. I'm blanking on his name is what I'm doing, but he's
You did
very,
better
very
than me.
good. What's
Yeah,
that?
you did better than me with
Ah,
Blake. All I know is
yeah.
Vanilla Baby.
And I think the other guy's name is like Lee Johnson, which surprises me that I can remember him, but not the guy who I think is better of the
Yeah,
two.
that's yeah.
Um, Maybe it's true you do remember negative things better. Uh, but they're going against Private Party, who recently made a comeback, and I'm curious to see more of them in the ring because it's been like a year and we've only had one match since they've come back. And then we also have the Outrunners, who I am perpetually a fan of. Those two dudes are so funny and so fun in the ring. And then you have LFI's Mystico and Roosh, who Mystico brings the high flying and Roosh just brings the I'm going to slap you until you're dead. Like Roosh is just violence. Um, I'm not sure why Roosh isn't more pushed to the moon. Maybe it's because his English isn't so good, because in the ring he is a beast.
Yeah.
Um, but they all made their case for winning next week's $200,000 four-way tag match taking place on Collision next week, I believe in Arizona. And what was it? I think Private Party was like, "Yeah, we could throw a hell of a private party for 200,000." And I'm like, "Oh no, invest 401k, boys." They're like, "Nah, rave party."
Rave party. Like, no, jeez.
But yeah, I'm here for it. And again, in any other promotion, this would just all be mid card bullshit. But these are actually four teams that I'm interested enough to want to watch because they go really well in the ring.
Yeah.
Um, and continuing with the tag team action, we have a tag team match up next. The debut of the one and the only, and certainly not a parody of what was previously a different tag team, Proto Kata, which is Kyle Fletcher and the Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada, versus Top Flight, Dante Martin and Darius Martin. And what were your thoughts about this one?
Well, I have to give Okada some props. I think he was MVP of the night with his performance in this match. He's usually very slow and methodical. He kept up with Top Flight, and he kept up with the Protostar. So just showing us like, hey, Okada meets you at your level. He meets you at your energy.
Yeah, yeah, I
He
think
was
that
all
dude.
over the place. Like he went
Yeah,
crazy. Um, and I not to take anything away from Dante or Darius, they both showed up and showed out as well. This I'm not gonna say that it was the match of the night for me. Not yet. I'm not gonna say that I even have a match of the night yet. Not yet. But I will say that this was a damn good match. Um, Okada and Fletcher look good. You already know how I feel about Kyle Fletcher. Get out of here, please. This dude is ridiculous, and he's only in his 20s. Could you freaking imagine? Like, yeah, he is definitely the future of wrestling. Period. I don't even care about your promotion. It doesn't matter what promotion. He is the future of the industry. Him, uh, um, oh my god,
Takeshita.
yeah, like dude, these guys are freaking Will Osprey.
Yep.
Yeah, this
And
is
up
definitely
and coming Kevin Knight and Speedball
yeah,
Mike Bailey, all these young talents
yes,
that are freaking ridiculous.
just oh my gosh. So yeah, this was one hell of a match. Uh, Mad props to Dante Martin and Darius Martin. Um, I don't give them enough credit. I don't think every time I see them, they get better and better. Like I can't deny their skill. They would definitely be a tag team that would just disappear WWE, but I feel like AEW for now is the better spot for them. Because I don't feel like I would see them at all if they weren't here. Um, yeah, so I got to give them props too. They did amazing. That's a big match to be in. Um, like huge. Those are two of the biggest names in AEW right now. Cause you, c- what was I just trying to say? Cause Okada, how about that?
Yeah,
Okada and Fletcher, that Kyle Fletcher, that's freaking redonk. Um, so props to them for being able to get in that match and look as good as they did. What did you think?
I wasn't sure that this was going to be anything but a squash match for Protocata going into
Mhm.
it, but I was really pleasantly surprised by Top Flight bringing it to them here.
Yeah,
And I've been critical of Top Flight lately. The last couple of times I saw them, particularly I was critical of Darius Martin, who gained a fair bit of weight. But here he looked like he's starting to trim back down, and his in-ring work was spot on, like
yeah.
really fucking good. Like that dude
He was out there wrestling like my
tumbles
children. He was gonna get a
and
sandwich.
is he tumbles and he's as I know you hear it a lot too when it's like a big guy who did anything halfway athletic. It's like, oh, I shouldn't move that way. But like for the acrobatics that Darius Martin is doing with the weight that he had gained, like he
Yeah,
shouldn't be moving that way. Like he really shouldn't. So he did really, really well here. Especially, in the face of going against somebody like either Kyle Fletcher or Okada. Like those dudes are just next level guys. Like Okada is a legend for a reason at this point. And I agree with you. He can wrestle any match against anyone. He'll meet them where they live.
yeah,
And Kyle Fletcher is just a damn protege. Like, he calls himself the proto star, but like this dude really is on another level.
yeah,
Um, so for Darius and Dante to have such a good showing against two guys that are so good in this sport was a really good showing for them, even though ultimately Protocata does secure the win. Near the end of the match, Okada ends up hitting the Rainmaker and tagging in Kyle Fletcher for the sheer drop brainbuster to get the pinfall. And what happened after the match, the really, really good match, was Jet Speed comes out. Jet Speed, who only a couple weeks ago said, Hangman doesn't seem to have a problem going after that world heavyweight title, even though we're trios champs. So why shouldn't we? And they are making good on that. They are coming
yeah,
for the gold. So Jet Speed comes out saying, "Hey, we heard you say you're like the best tag team ever, but I think Mike Bailey pointed out that he beat uh, Fletcher, I want to say, and that Kevin Knight had beaten Okada. I
yeah.
think I got
I
that right.
think that's right. Yeah,
Um, and so they don't know how you're saying you're the best tag team, but let's put it to the test. So they challenge them to a tag match. Um, I want to say Speedball Mike Bailey says, I wouldn't mind a crack at that TNT title. And hey, we're trios champions. So, and this was a great, it made me laugh out loud. Mike Bailey says, so if you want to find, if you two and one of the 12,000 members of the Don Callis family want to team up and challenge us for those belts, we'd be down for it. And so I loved that this whole episode, like Jet Speed, is making power moves. You got Kevin Knight getting into MJF's face, and you've got them as a team coming out here and getting into the face of like Okada and Kyle Fletcher and just looking for all the gold. They are gold hunting, and I am super here for it.
yeah.
Push Jet Speed to the fucking moon.
To the moon, please.
Yep. So that really made me happy, and yeah, it cracked me up that he said in one of the 12,000 members of the Don Callis family. That was so slick.
Although I will admit that I feel like Kevin Knight might be taking a vacation after Dynamite.
Hmm?
Because I feel as if he is the sacrificial lamb here. If um Hangman, or as Shivani calls him, Hangman Page, if he wins this match against MJF, which I feel very strongly that he will, before that there needs to be a stronger reason for him to win, a decided victory. And I think in this case, that's going to be Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight, he's got the right amount of bravado and arrogance, and uh, I'm on a high right now. Ain't no way I'm gonna lose this. We all know he's not going to win this, but I don't think that we fully anticipate exactly what MJF is. I think MJF is going to destroy him. I think MJF is going to whip Kevin Knight's ass to the point that Hangman is going to be extra turned about this match that he has with MJF.
Oh, I see where you're coming from. Yeah, yeah. So, like, to do pre-match psychological damage, and possibly, like, if he hurts Kevin Knight bad enough and gets him injured, then they might have to relinquish the trios championship.
Exactly.
Then that could add all kinds of extra impetus and stakes and heat. Yeah, that's entirely possible. I could see that.
Yeah, but the timing's just too perfect. There's no way that it's going to be just a basic match. MJF is on a tear. He was enraged at the beginning of this episode, and Kevin Knight comes out and he's listen here, homeboy. He's just
He
living his
was.
best life and yeah, poking the bear. MJF needs to make an example of someone. I think it will be the Jet Kevin Knight that will be made an example of. And we all know that Hangman's going to be there. It's Dynamite. I mean, he could be a Collision because, I mean, AEW does it like that. But he's most often seen uh, on Dynamite. So we know he's going to be there. Like, so I just think this is going to be one of those, like, ooh, type matches, and I expect for it to be damn good because MJF can go, Kevin Knight can go, so let's have it.
Indeed. Well, yeah, let's see how that plays out because I think that would add a lot of cool pathos to the dynamic that's going into this.
Yeah,
Especially if MJF like really, really hurts Kevin Knight and it ends up costing them like
yeah, he's
their
got it.
trios championship because with an injured member that might be out for a little while, they'll have to relinquish. You
Yeah.
know, and like maybe Hangman like goes to see him in the hospital and he's like, "Get MJF for me."
Stop.
Brr. And then they show a shot of Hangman with his intense eyes, but they're slightly getting teary. It's like, no,
Don't
pull
make us
through,
feel,
Kevin,
Hangman.
pull through.
Don't make us feel.
The jet has been
Oh,
brought down, crashed.
oh my god.
There was one man that had to pay for this. Big
I
Evil
love
must go down.
I love that this, I don't know if this is Hangman in your head or a narrator for
No,
for
it's a
the
narrator. It's the
it's the
old West
narrator.
narrator. Yeah,
Okay,
Hangman's
well
the hero. So
the old West narrator is apparently outlaw from the WWE 2K25 game we play.
it's
Your
the
character.
he's the prospector. He's
Okay.
always looking for gold. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna quit cutting a promo and get back to podcasting now. Um, but yeah, that could be really cool. So that's a great like idea of where they could go with it. Now, if they don't do that, I'm gonna be like, oh, well,
Yeah,
thanks.
no, it needs to be done. Like MJF has to turn into Gunther, and he has to beat him the way Gunther beat Jimmy in front of Jay. It's got to
Oh
be something like
Jesus,
that.
yeah, yeah. Speedball's all like, no, don't kill Kevin. MJF just clocks him with the dynamite diamond ring and then proceeds to kill Kevin. God
Yeah,
damn
you
it.
gotta give him the Kenny Omega. You
He's
gotta swerve him.
spitting up blood while they put him on the stretcher.
Oh God, not that one was ridiculous. No, you gotta do him like Swerve did him. You remember
Yeah.
everybody remembers that night that we tuned in to watch Swerve Strickland kill Kenny Omega. We saw it. It happened. We I'm surprised that we haven't got a knock on the door with questions about what we saw because we all witnessed a murder.
Right. Right. So now when
Thousands of
Hang
us.
when Hangman is freshly determined and leaving the bedside of Kevin Knight in the ER, he's gonna walk past Kenny Omega and be like, "Hey,"
Because every time, we all know every time that Swerve wanted to fight him, he was in the hospital or something, and here he is living up to to the expectations. Like Swerve was not wrong. I need a
well, I
T-shirt that
mean,
says Swerve Strickland was right.
Swerve punched him straight in the diverticulitis. I mean, that's
He
bound to
broke.
happen.
Oh no! He broke his diverticulitis.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm real curious now to see if that's the direction they go with it. We'll find out this next coming Dynamite. But yeah, I'm here for
Oh
it.
shit! His tickleitis exploded.
Not the tickleitis.
Yeah, the tiggermitis.
Oh no. But after that match and the call out by Jet, what is it? Jet Set Rodeo.
Yeah.
Um we are taken to a vignette where Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy, I guess, presumably want the dogs. And I say it that way because, like, we're very certain Darby Allin wants this. But Orange Cassidy's just sitting there in the chair the whole time. Like, he didn't say
Yeah.
shit. He's just there, being Orange Cassidy.
Yeah,
But,
I don't know how I feel about this dynamic, yo. Like Darby Allin goes hard on the paint. I'm not saying that Orange Cassidy doesn't, right? But I'm saying that Orange Cassidy has normally been treated somewhat like a comedy wrestler. I'm not saying that's all he does. As a matter of fact, I've seen him bloody here in AEW. So he can go hard on the paint. I'm not saying that he can't. I'm just saying his general dynamic for the rest of everybody else in this. Like think about the dogs. Think about the promos they've been cutting, which have been loud and goofy, but they are edge lords to the max. And then Darby Allin there is no zero in Darby Allin. It's 100 and up. So the only thing that's mellow, the only thing that's
is
mellow
Orange
in this
Cassidy.
is Orange Cassidy. These two dudes just dragged a dude in a body bag in the desert. Like,
Yeah, so
so this
basically
was
foreplay for Darby Allin.
right. And meanwhile, Orange Cassidy. I mean, it's like that's gonna be a crazy dynamic, but I'm here for it. I'm interested to see where it goes. I'm not excited about watching Connors or Gabe, but it is what it is. And if Gabe does 10 minutes of back chops again, I swear to the
Oh,
Almighty,
man.
I'm gonna write a very strongly worded letter to somebody. You're gonna make me
Hmm.
into a Karen. I'm gonna want to speak to a manager right now. Don't make me.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they got feedback on that match and that when they run it back, it's a better match with more grappling and wrestling and not just back chop hell stab. That
Yeah,
was
please don't. Don't do. Do not do.
yeah. So make it count here, because I don't think the dogs are going to get over if they don't make a better impression and soon.
Yeah, you gotta
Um,
be a goofy. You gotta be a goofy dude if you're gonna be goofy, but you gotta be Braun Breaker. Like Braun Breaker comes out there and he's barking and he looks ridiculous, but who's gonna tell him that? Because he'll spear them to Jesus. So you gotta be that. Yeah, who's gonna tell him that? I'm not telling that dude that. Just
Yeah,
like Kyle Fletcher comes out with the pink crown, and it's all glittery and it's adorable. I don't know. His niece or somebody could have made it for him. I don't know, but he comes out and it's adorable. Who's gonna? I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. Who? And I'm pretty sure guys are like all pink. That's it's gay. Yeah, tell him. Go ahead, knock yourself
yeah.
out.
You say something to him. Yeah. If I
Hey,
was going to say anything to Kyle Fletcher, it's get some socks on, you barbarian.
yeah, stop the cheese
Socks
feet.
on your feet. Yeah,
Hey,
that's it. I don't
hey,
care if you wear pink. You can look pretty in pink, little princess.
yeah,
Still get some
please.
damn shoes on your feet.
Yeah, no, socks. Get some socks on your feet. Some cotton socks, please, to absorb your
Yep.
grossness.
Yep.
Um, for my
I don't know.
international brothers and sisters, when you wear dress shoes, please, socks. Please, socks. Stop it. Nobody likes cheese feet. No one.
Not none, buddy. And if you do, you're bad and wrong and should feel bad.
You should feel bad for being bad and wrong. Absolutely.
Precisely. But I digress. Anyway, I
Yeah, we're
certainly hope that
we're
Darby
getting.
Allin and Orange Cassidy have a banger of a match with the dogs because the dogs still need to convince me that they are not complete goofballs. And if you can't get it done with Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy, then I don't know who can. Um,
Yeah.
that said,
Coach Cat is
after
just going to
that,
give you another clean slate. He's just going to give you a nice canvas by which, if you are meant to destroy him, do so. But I don't know if that's going to happen this match. But I'm just saying we had an example of what Orange Cassidy is there to do if he's there to sell. He sells very well, but you got to give him something to sell. Like not there.
yeah,
There wasn't a back chop that Gabe Kidd gave to him that he did not sell as very painful, and I'm sure by the 30th it was extremely painful, and he didn't have to fake it. But when you're fighting someone and they're telling you this is your moment to look strong, take it. Be strong, not goofy.
yeah,
And
exactly.
I'm sure they're gonna have that opportunity again with this match with Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy. You're gonna get that opportunity. Look strong, look dominant, look like a cohesive unit, but don't look like two freaking weirdos, man. Just hold it together and look cool for freaking 15 minutes, please.
Yep,
Please,
place.
please. Let us love you. Come on, bros.
Yeah, seriously, I'm ready to mark out for them if they can show me something in the ring and they can give me characters that aren't ridiculous.
Yes.
Um, I mean, Orange Cassidy, if you didn't see him do his thing, you could be like, "Oh, this dude's ridiculous." But the dude can go, and
Yeah.
he's really good. And I'm waiting to see that out of these two. So please show me. I'm all for it. I'll be the first one to be on the podcast going, "Oh my God, they did it!" So please
Yeah.
let us be
Like
your fans.
Orange Cassidy is no chump. Like I know I said that he is normally a comedic wrestler and he is, but like I also said, he has bled in AEW. He's had some brutal matches with the likes of John Moxley. He can go in the ring.
Yep.
He can take bumps. And if you're questioning whether or not Darby Allin can take bumps, what is wrong with you?
Yeah. If he took any more bumps, he might actually die. So
His
yeah,
name is
no.
Darby I Died Twice Yesterday Allen. What My man can take a bump. Don't make me pull the stairs incident of 2026.
Or like Claudio throwing him out of the ring through a table and any
Yeah,
number. I mean, there's so many to choose from. Darby
like,
Allin is an extreme wrestler that would make someone in ECW go, "God damn, dude."
yeah, he would be world champion ECW. He would be holding all crowns because he's insane in the membrane. And now I'm
Yep.
showing age, but yeah, just go out there, go out there, and be dominant, be disgusting and fierce, and please don't fucking spit on anybody. I know I said be disgusting, but Gabe, stop it. All right, I'm done with my rant.
All right, fair enough. Well, here's hoping that it ends up being a good match. But that brings us to our fifth match of the night, and this is Timeless Tony Storm versus Zeta Steel of Skyflight, which is Scorpio Sky, Top Flight, and her and the other gal that hangs out with Top Flight. I can't think of her name.
Oh, yeah, it just left my brain. Don't ask me.
Yeah, but what were your thoughts on this match?
This I'm not coming for the ladies, okay? I'm not coming for the ladies tonight. I swear. This was just okay. Timeless Tony Storm was fine. Zeta Steel was fine. I feel like this match existed more for what happened after the match than the match itself, if that makes any sense. Um, and I'm not saying that either lady did anything wrong. They didn't. They were both great, but it was just kind of I kind of feel like a bit of a squash match. Actually, I feel like
Yeah,
Tony
yep.
just kind of squashed Zeta like it would twerk nothing. Um, and then shortly after that, more um in-ring antics from the Death Riders. But I mean, I honestly feel like that match was just a reason to get Tony Storm out there, um, and in the ring that wasn't talking. So for
Yeah,
me,
I
it,
could
it
see
was
that.
it was just okay. I mean, again, not a bad match. No one did anything wrong. Tony was good, but it was a squash match, and a bit funny. It was like it was just kind of
Yeah.
a fun little uh I don't know, fun little break from like the hard hitting stuff that they showed the people for the remainder of the night and for the matches before, because it really just, I don't even know, maybe 5 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't long. May I?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, this was pretty straightforwardly a squash match for Tony Storm. I remember a flurry of Tony Storm like hitting like three German suplexes on Zeta Steel, followed by shortly thereafter Tony Storm, giving herself the Omega Wedgie, bearing her cheeks for the hip attack, and then hitting her with Storm Zero, and that was it.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. This largely existed, I think, for what came after the match, which was a attack by Marina Shafir on Tony Storm, and the nanosecond it looked like Tony was starting to get the upper hand, that's when Wheeler Yuta steps into the ring. Um, and then something amazing happened next. Would you like to do the honors?
No, please, because you have been waiting. You have been, but yeah, please.
All right. Tony immediately snatches his stupid hat off of his head. This hat that has magically stayed glued to Wheeler Yuta's head more tightly than luchador masks. She snatches it right off, revealing for the first time since, what was it, Grand Slam Australia, the fully shorn, bald head of Wheeler Yuta, and it was magical.
Glorious.
He when she pulled that off his head, he panicked and bailed and ran like he was being chased by dementors from Harry Potter. Like he hated it. He was like, ah. And then Tony proceeds to deal with Marina Shafir, and she's outside the ring, and Tony puts on the little stupid sock cap that Wheeler Yuta was wearing and starts doing her typical Tony posing. And it was so good. It was everything I hoped it would be, and it was even better because it was Tony Storm who finally got to do the honors of ripping the stupid hat off Wheeler Yuta. Ah, it was great.
Yeah.
And I believe that was the entire reason for this match with Zeta Steel.
Yeah. Seriously, I think you're right. I think it was just for that, and I'm not complaining. That's fine.
Worth it. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah.
It was the payoff. Ah. But after that, um, we are taken to Hook, who repeatedly informs us that he's the new leader of the Ops. He says, I am Hook. I'm the leader of the Ops. I'm leading the Ops. Leader, Ops, leader, Ops,
I lead the
Op
op.
leader,
I op the
Op,
leader.
Opta leader. Uh, but he says the Ops are in the midst of recruitment. You don't say. You don't have Joe. I don't know where Chibata is, although I think he was on the other end of the camera this evening.
Yeah.
And, well, Powerhouse Hobbs disappeared into the ether.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're damn right. You're in the midst of recruiting, and he's walking through the backstage area, and he says everybody wants to join the Ops, and he stops to talk to just some random backstage guy, and he's like, "Hey, do you wrestle?" And the guy's like, "Yeah." "You want to join the Ops?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he says, "Bet you do." And then he just kept moving on, and then Anthony Bowens walks up to him and says, "Hey, it's little known fact that Hook and I are best friends, and you know my accolades, multi-time tag champion, five-tool player, etc., etc." And Hook's like, "Yeah, I'm aware. We're friends. I'm aware of your accolades. Um, but see, here in the Ops, we're killers. Samoa Joe, a killer. Chibata, a killer. Powerhouse Hobbs, dead. No, sorry." And and then he says, "Hook, killer. Bowens, killer? Question mark. We'll have to see. Let me think about it, and make sure you think about what I said." So I guess we're gonna have to see Bowens becoming like a killer if he wants to join the Ops. So
Yeah.
we shall see.
I
But
suppose so.
after that, uh, continuing with like the heavy amount of tag team action this episode, we
Yeah.
have a tag team match of Thunder Rosa and Chris Statlander versus the Sisters of Sin, Julia Hart and Sky Blue. And what were your thoughts on this match?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Again, this was another match that I heard the people that were gonna be in it, and I was about 50% on both sides. Not excited about it. So 50% excitement, 50% yeah. Um, and I was wrong. Everybody that everybody involved in this match looked good and did a fantastic job. Thunder Rosa and Chris Statlander actually worked very well together. Julia Hart and Sky Blue work well together, and I had said previously that I feel like Julia Hart. I don't know if I said this on the podcast or just in conversations while watching Julia Hart and Sky Blue, but I think I said something along the lines of I think Julia Hart is kind of holding Sky Blue back now. Like I didn't feel that way when they first got together. Whenever Sky Blue got involved with Julia Hart, I felt like Julia Hart was in a better position than she is now. But there was no hold back this particular match. I think everybody in this match did a bang up job. Thunder Rosa looked fantastic. So did Julia Hart. Sky Blue continues to look good. Chris Statlander, of course, my fave. She looked fantastic. So, yeah, this was a surprisingly good match. And I say surprisingly for me because I just didn't anticipate enjoying watching Thunder Rosa or Julia Hart in this match, and I did. So that's what I thought.
You are not alone. I felt the exact same way. Really, this was a much better match than I anticipated for the exact same reasons. I thought, like, man, how is Chris Statlander and Sky Blue going to carry this entire match? Because Julia Hart has sucked ass the last couple of times I've seen her solo.
Yeah.
And that one last match that Thunder Rosa just had with Julia Hart was like neither one looked great. But yeah, they looked a lot better here. That said, everyone did really, really well. Chris Statlander is an amazing female professional wrestler. Like, she is one of, if not the best that they've got. That
Yeah, I
said,
agree.
ever since returning from her injury, Sky Blue has been amazing. Like, she's doing better and better in ring, and I think she's leaning into, like, her kick game, because, like, she her injury that she recovered from was like an ankle injury, and so she has not skipped a leg day ever since in rehabbing that. So
Yeah,
her legs are like pistons now. um and on top of that, like, clearly she has been doing at least back day and shoulder day, because her back and shoulders are starting to look jacked. So Sky Blue is definitely looking the part of, like, I've got enough muscle on me to hurt you, which is not the case for, say, Julia Hart, who just looks like she's a skeleton. Like, she's so thin. And
yeah.
so, um, impressed with Sky Blue, impressed with Chris Statlander. This match, I actually saw a really good performance out of Julia Hart and Thunder Rosa as well, better than they had previously.
Yeah.
So I was really much more entertained by this match, and it went a lot better than I thought it was going to. To completely echo your sentiments, um, and while everyone did well, ultimately Stat and Thunder pull ahead when Statlander hits Julia Hart with Saturday Night Fever, and then tags in Thunder Rosa, who then steps in and hits her with the Tijuana Bomb. Not to be confused with the Tejana Bomb. Different. It's Tijuana. Um, to pin Julia Hart. And, of course, after the match, the Toxic Spider, Tekla, came out. Um,
Yeah, female Gabe Kid.
and she said, if there's one thing I can't stand, do you know what it is? Do you know what the one thing is?
Yes. It's not one, but two dumb bitches.
Those bitches is. Yeah, so she basically came out just to call Chris and Thunder dumb bitches and ask if Thunder was ready to get toxic. And then she did this little hip shimmy shake that she started doing lately. It's like, what is happening? Like, we were like, hey, it's so good that Tekla's just skirting the line between becoming a cheesy, try-hard edgelord. And she's like, oh yeah? Well, I'm blowing past the line. Screw your
Watch
line.
me. Yeah, watch me whip and watch me be cringe.
And Tekla went on to say, Tekla was like, tell her, Stat, tell her how I made you bleed, tell her how I took your championship. I don't fight to win, I fight to kill. And I'm like, well, then
Then you
I think you
failed.
said you failed. Yeah, when we were watching it, you were like, well, then you failed, because you did win, and Chris Statlander's not dead. So, take that, Tekla. And I
Hefla.
think she also said, why doesn't Thunder Rosa just retire already? And, something along the lines of, like, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for AEW's past women's division, because now it belongs to me. So that was Tekla. Boop boop. Um, I don't know. She's crazy. But I'm now more hopeful that Tekla and Thunder could have a decent match.
Yeah, the whole time though, the whole time that that Tekla was talking, Statlander was just standing there looking. I don't know. I couldn't read whatever that was on her face.
Like, she was
Um.
mean mugging her the whole time. It was just like murr, murr.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then that was me mugging. She murder. She murder with her face. The entire time, but said and did nothing. No gestures. No nothing.
No, said and did nothing. Just mean mugged the whole time.
Just anger face. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Thunder Rosa with no mic is just sitting there, like, yelling at Tekla from inside the ring.
Yes.
So, I don't know. It could be a good match. I'm hoping it is a good match.
Yeah.
Because I sure, prior to seeing Thunder Rosa and Chris Statlander wrestle against the Sisters of Sin in this match, I was not hyped for it, because I was like, man, Tekla's just going to run circles around Thunder Rosa, or as you pointed out, she'll have to play down to Thunder
Yeah.
Rosa, and no one. This is where the best wrestle, not where the best play down to capitulate to someone who can't wrestle.
Yeah.
So it better be that Thunder Rosa steps the fuck up.
Yeah. I absolutely agree.
So we shall see. Um, I'm not sure when that match is taking place. Maybe the next Dynamite, because I'm pretty sure. I feel like they're setting it up for Statlander to go against Tekla at Revolution again.
Yeah.
Um, and we'll see if it goes down any different. Because if Statlander doesn't have an answer for the Sisters of Sin, I'm not sure it will. But we'll see. But after that,
Yeah.
we are brought to the main event of the night. One Andrade El Idolo of the Don Callis family versus Tomohiro Ichichichi, according to Shivani, but Ishii to the rest of us that are able to speak properly of the conglomeration.
Oh no.
And what were your thoughts on this match?
Oh no. Oh man. Wow. I'm sorry. Yeah, he had a problem with that name the entire night. The entire night.
Ishii. Ishii before E except after C. Ishii.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Ooh. This was yet again. I think I even said earlier before we started this that this just reviewing this card and reviewing the matches, I said that this was a night of surprises when it came to the matches because this I was not looking forward to. However, this was a freaking banger. Um,
Yep.
yeah, like I mean an all-out banger. This was a fantastic match, and yeah, match of the night for me. Which is crazy because there were some good matches, man. This one for me was match of the night, and I was so surprised. So surprised. Andrade, I'm so happy he's here. Like, real talk. I know he was here, then he left, now he's back. I know, I get it. Ha ha ha. I think he's finally in the position that he wanted, and I think he deserves to be in the position that he's in. So, um, yeah, he looks he not fantastic, he looks fantastic.
Fantastic. He was
Fantastic.
fantastic against Tomohiro Ichichichika.
Yeah, I don't know, man. His teeth were not doing that word. His teeth were like, no, we done told you,
Giving
stop that bullshit.
poor
Yeah,
Tone
his
Chavone.
his his teeth wasn't having that nonsense, that tomfoolery. But uh, great match. Yeah, what did you think?
I agree. Really good main event. Ishii and Andrade left it all in the ring, and I think hit each other with every move in each other's arsenal. Andrade continues to show off a ton of personality as well. Once again, like kind of flexing for the crowd, and then there's a woman out there that like gave him a protein bar and then wanted to take a selfie and like felt up his man boobs, and he was like, um, so it's really, really good that Andrade has a personality for folks to latch onto because I think it was the lack of that that made him like, even though he was really good in the ring, people didn't have anything to kind of like buy into. And I
Yeah,
think that is changed for him, and I think that's only going to go well for him, and it will get him over.
yeah.
Um, I want to say near the end of the match, Andrade hits Ishii with the pump kick fake to back elbow and gets a near fall, like really close, like 2 3/4. And then pretty much just picks up Ishii and then drills him with the DM, his finisher, to pick up the win. And this was after a really good slobber knocker. Man, Tony Schiavone's rubbing off on me. Now I'm going to say
Not the
Tomohiro
slobber
Ichichichi,
knuckle.
not the snoober nuker.
Nobody
Um,
wants to slobber knocker.
no, not none, buddy. But it was one hellacious match between these two, and it was really good. It was a good showing for Andrade, and it was a really good showing for Tomohiro Ishii. Um, and then after the match, delightfully, there were no shenanigans where like the Don Callis family in its like 12,000 member entirety comes out and just kills Ishii for no good reason.
Yeah.
Instead, afterwards, Bandito comes out, who had said he wanted a challenge, I want to say on the previous Dynamite, and Andrade had answered. So now Bandito comes out and he offers to shake Andrade's hand, but El Idolo spits at him. Mature. But then I want to say Bandito points at the sign for Revolution, and it basically leads to them both posturing at each other with Bandito like doing the like I'm gonna shoot you like fingers, and El Idolo like holding his fist out at him, and they just sort of stare down each other ahead of their match at Revolution to kind of close the show. And with that being the end of the show, what was your review of this episode of Collision?
I'm gonna give this one a solid 8. No beating around the bush. I thought this was a pretty good match. The only gripe that I had about it was the match that Windsor and oh my god, I was about to call her Statlander. Um
Hater? Jamie Hater?
yeah, yeah. The one that Alex and Hater had. And it was just because the two girls that they had, they could only do so much with. Um but aside from that, I found every match to be surprisingly good. Um Yeah, and they do a lot in the 2-hour window given here.
Seven
Um,
matches.
yeah, and we're not talking 7 just like, peddling matches, 7 like, 5, 10-minute long matches. We're talking about good amounts of time spent in the ring whipping each other's ass. It's impressive. So
Yep.
yeah, I'm gonna give it a solid 8. This was a really good collision.
Nice. Well, for me, I think everything in this episode was super solid. The promo spots were great. Kevin Knight adding his name to the crowd of contenders after MJF's AEW World Championship title is fantastic. Even more so now that you presented the idea that MJF's going to like, make a martyr out of Kevin Knight in order to try and
Thank
get
you.
into Hangman's like under his skin.
Yeah.
Um, all of the matches were good. Even that match that you were mentioning ultimately was a good match. It was just that those two ladies were sandbagging, and the brawling birds had to like work around that, and they still did. Um, and many of these matches were better than I thought they were going to be. So I was pleasantly surprised, like a few times on the night. Like I either didn't have an expectation or I had a low expectation for a few of these matches, and then I was like, oh no, this was good. So for firing on all cylinders this episode, I'm going with a solid 8.5. Collision was
Oh,
absolutely top tier.
nice, nice.
Yeah, there's nothing specifically I could point to that isn't an absolutely minor quibble that wasn't amazing. And the stuff that was really good and the stuff that was surprisingly good all outweighs that by a large margin. If you're a fan of AEW, I would recommend you watch this episode of Collision because a lot of good stuff went down.
Yeah, nice. And I agree.
Well, that has been a review of AEW Collision, and I want to thank everybody who joined us for this episode. And I invite you to join us for our next episode, which should be our coverage of AEW Dynamite. Till then, I don't think there's anything for me to do but roll the outro.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Top Tier Wrestling. We hope you enjoyed our deep dive into the latest wrestling news and shows. You can find us on all major podcast platforms, as well as our YouTube channel where we upload all of our episodes. You can also follow us on Instagram and X for updates and to join the conversation. Until next time, everyone, remember, wrestling is always better when it's top tier.